Hey everyone, we are back with block number 29 for our Minecraft Mob Blanket project. And block number 29 is the zombie villager. I don't have a whole lot to say about the zombie villager, except that he can be turned back into a normal zombie with a golden apple. Being a non-player, sometimes it's hard to come up with things to say about these different mobs. Some of them are way more interesting than others. This guy just looks cool. So other than I really don't know the purpose of him. But I will say that in doing the research for making these mob heads, it kind of makes me want to try the game, but I just don't have the free time. I mean, I've never watched my daughter play or any of my other family members that play. I've never really been a video game person. I just have a lot more things to do with my time between, my business that I run and my hobby of crocheting and just life in general. I don't find much time to be able to sit down and play a video game. I know when my son was younger, I absolutely refused to spend my money on video games. I mean, way back then we lived paycheck to paycheck, and to pay $45, $50 for a video game, it wasn't in me. I couldn't do it. But he loves them. He's a big time video player now. But he buys his own stuff. He's old enough to do that. He doesn't need me for that. So for this project, we are using Premier Yarns, their Basics collection, which is a budget yarn. It's a reasonably priced budget yarn, and you definitely get some yardage for your money. I believe it's 359 yards for $3.79. So it's decently priced for the type of yarn that it is, and it happens to feel decent for a budget yarn. And I am not affiliated with them. I am not trying to promote them or anything. I'm just telling you what I'm using and why. So I also am using my 6mm crochet hook and my 8x8 graphs that between myself and my daughter Jenna, we have come up with the close resemblance of the different mobs in the game. So today is one of hers, the zombie villager. She also did this other one that was very difficult for me to do because of the amount of color changes, a zombie pig man, but he'll be in a different video. And when she saw me making that one, she's like, "Oh, you're doing the cool one." And I'm like, "You mean I'm doing the hard one?" Because it is a lot of color changes. Like half the face is a pig and the other half is a zombie man. And it's interesting. It is definitely interesting. And if you play the game, you'll probably recognize him. If you don't play the game, it's like, what's that? And that was me. I was like, what is that? And once she explained it, I could see it. But yeah. So that one's interesting. But today's just the plain old zombie villager. So the colors that we are using in this particular block are spring green, leaf green, white, red, black, and fern green. The stitches that we use for this project are a chain stitch, a single crochet in the back bump of the chain, a regular single crochet, and the bobble stitch. And the bobble stitch is 5 double crochets together followed by a single crochet. And then when we do our border around the block, it is basically a double crochet. So for those of you who are new to this project or just need a refresher on how to do the bobble stitch, this next segment is for you. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to want to do is make a slip knot. Each one of the graphs, you will chain 16 plus 1 for a turning chain, so a total of 17. You will then turn and do a single crochet into the back bump. In 16 of the chains, you're going to skip the first one. You will back bump single crochet all the way across till you reach the end of the row. And when you get there, you should have 16. Okay, so I have 16. It should look like this. Both sides look nice. Makes it easier for when you add the border. So for the first bobble row, you will chain 3. Turn your work. And we're going to do 4 double crochets, incomplete double crochets, into the same stitch that our chain stitch attaches to. So you yarn over, go through the stitch, pull your yarn through, and go through 2 loops, leaving one on your hook. You now have 2. Yarn over, go through that same stitch, pull your yarn through, go through 2 loops. You now have 3. So you can do that 2 more times. We now have 4. So we need 1 more. And that makes 4. Okay, so we have a total of 5 loops because of our chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you want to yarn over and pull through all 5 of those loops. And the very next stitch, you do a single crochet. That single crochet is what gives you the nice pop-out bobble. That makes our pixel or our bit. So each bobble stitch after the first one in every row, you do 5 double crochets together, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. You're going to do that for a total of 5 times. So that was 3, 4, and 5. And we're going to yarn over, pull through all 6 loops. You had 6 on your hook because you had 1 loop remaining from the single crochet. Then you follow that up with a single crochet. And then repeat that for the next bobble. Yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. This is 3 and 4 and 5. See how we have 6 loops? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yarn over and go through all 6 and follow that with a single crochet. And see how our pixels are popping out? Okay, so you'll do that all the way to the end of the row. When you get to the end of the row, your very last stitch is a single crochet. And it should look like this with 8 bobbles. Yes, it's going to curl up at first. As your work moves along and it grows, it flattens itself back out. So for the next row, which is the beginning of row 2, we do a single crochet, turn our work, and then we're going to place a single crochet in each stitch. When you do above the bobble, make sure you're only getting those top 2. Don't work down into this. You're going to put a single crochet into the single crochet and a single crochet into the top of the bobble all the way across. And when you make it to the end, you should have a total of 16 single crochets. So it should look like this. A row of single crochet all the way across. Then you will, for your next bobble row, you will chain 3, turn your work and do the 4 incomplete double crochets into the first stitch. The first stitch meaning the same stitch that your chain 3 is connected to. Pull through all 5 loops and follow up with a single crochet. So when you get to the part where you're going to do a color change, you want to do it in the single crochet. So pull your working yarn forward. Bring in your new color, leaving a nice tail so you can work it in. And you're going to complete that single crochet with the new color. And, pull it snug, not super tight, but pull it down snug. And we're going to work over top of those. So we do a bobble because our color change was in the single crochet. So that's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yarn over, pull through them all, and a single crochet into the next stitch. Now this particular one has 2 of the black bobbles. So do the second one. It's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yarn over, pull through all 6. Go to do my single. Now I need to go back to my other color, and I carried it with me. I don't always carry it with me, but these are such a small surface that when I only have 1 or 2 blocks of one color, I will carry the color with me if that is what comes next. Okay, so I'm going to pull my black forward, bring up my other color, complete the stitch with that, and we're going to tighten it down. Just make it a little snug. And then we go right into the bobble stitch. Single crochet. Okay, so that looks nice and clean from the front side. Oh, I didn't bring my scissors with me. Okay, so I'm just going to let that fall forward there and move on to my next bobble. Okay, so depending on which pattern you're working on, you're starting to see it take shape. You will continue this process for all 8 rows, and then we will come back for the border. Okay, once you've completed your block, you want to put a border around it. Each of the blocks will have a border just to make them easier to sew together. So you're going to start wherever you would like. And some people like to start in corners, some people like to start on the actual edge of it itself. So you're going to single crochet into each stitch across the top. And each stitch across the bottom. When you get to the corner, it is a single crochet, chain 2, and single crochet into the same space, chain 2. We're going to work past the bobble and into the stitch where the bobble and the single crochet meet on the side. Sometimes it can be tough like that one was. Okay, chain 2, skip over the bobble and come into that single crochet. That one was a little easier. Chain 2, skip over the bobble, go into the single crochet. So that is how you handle both sides. And the corners are single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. Across the bottom and the top is just simply a single crochet into each stitch. The second round of the border is double crochet in each stitch across the top. Okay, the corner gets 5 double crochet. That's 2, 3, 4, and 5. When you come down the sides where you did the chain 2 gets 2 double crochets, and the single crochet gets 1 double crochet. So 2 double crochets into each chain 2 space and 1 double crochet into the single crochets. So you will work that all the way around, the top and bottom, 1 double crochet in each stitch, all 4 corners, 5 double crochets, and the bobble sides where the chain 2s are, 2 double crochets in the chain 2 space, 1 double crochet into the single crochet. And once you complete that second round, your block border is complete. So it's 1 round of the singles and chain 2s and 1 round of double crochets. And it looks pretty darn cool if you ask me. Alright, so that looks easy enough. All you have to do is really make sure that your bobbles line up and you'll get that graph or grid appearance. So, do you want to see what the zombie villager looks like? This is him. Okay, so the bright green is the spring green. This is the leaf green, the dark, that's like his nose. Got white and red in his eyes and his unibrow. Fern green around the border. So that's the front. This is what the back of him looks like. When you turn him flat, you can see the texture of the bobble stitches and how they stick up to make our pixels or our bits. I mean, because after all, we're doing pixel art with our crochet hooks and our yarn. So you will find the graph for the zombie villager down in the description below. You will also find the links to the other mob heads in this project in the description down below. For the next video in this project, if you click on this link right up here, it will take you directly there.